Stop for a moment before you continue scrolling, because this message might arrive at the exact moment your heart needed to hear it. Life has a strange way of making people feel alone even when they are surrounded by others. Sometimes you smile in front of everyone while quietly carrying a storm inside your heart that no one else can see. Maybe lately you have been feeling tired, not just physically but emotionally. Maybe you have been praying for something important and wondering if anyone is truly listening. You might have asked questions like, why is this happening to me right now, or when will things finally begin to change? Many people experience seasons where everything feels confusing and uncertain. During those seasons it can seem like every step forward is followed by another obstacle. But what if the struggles you are facing right now are not signs that your life is falling apart? What if they are signs that something inside you is being strengthened for the future that is coming? Think about how a tree grows strong enough to survive powerful storms. The strength of that tree does not come from calm days with perfect sunshine. It comes from the difficult days when strong winds push against it again and again. Those winds force the roots to grow deeper into the ground so the tree can stand firm. In the same way, challenges in life often push people to develop strength they never knew they had. At first those challenges feel uncomfortable and unfair, but over time they reveal a deeper purpose. Imagine a person walking through a long dark tunnel. At the beginning of the tunnel everything looks uncertain and the person cannot see what lies ahead. But if that person continues walking step by step, eventually a small light appears in the distance. That light grows brighter the closer the person gets to the end of the tunnel. Life sometimes places us inside tunnels where we cannot see the entire path ahead. But the important thing is to keep moving forward even when the destination is not yet visible. Many people give up too early because they believe the darkness will last forever. Yet often they were much closer to the light than they realized. Sometimes the moment you feel like quitting is the very moment when your breakthrough is closer than ever. Think about the way gold is refined in fire. When gold is first discovered, it contains many impurities mixed with it. The only way to remove those impurities is to place the gold in intense heat. The fire does not destroy the gold. Instead, it purifies it and reveals its true value. Life's difficulties can work in a similar way. The pressure you feel today may be removing doubts, fears, and weaknesses that once held you back. Through those experiences you begin to discover qualities inside yourself that were always there but had not yet been fully revealed. Patience begins to grow when situations force you to wait longer than you expected. Courage begins to appear when fear once controlled your decisions. Faith begins to deepen when answers are not immediately visible. And slowly the person you are becoming starts to look very different from the person you were in the past. Many people wish for a life without challenges, but such a life would never reveal the true strength of their character. It is through the process of overcoming obstacles that people discover their potential. Imagine climbing a high mountain. From the bottom the peak looks distant and impossible to reach. The path is steep and the climb requires effort and determination. But with every step you move a little higher than before. Sometimes you may stop to catch your breath and wonder if the climb is worth it. Yet when you finally reach the top and look back, you realize something incredible. The view from the summit is far more beautiful than anything you could see from the ground below. The journey that once felt exhausting becomes the reason you were able to witness something extraordinary. Life often follows that same pattern. The journey may feel difficult while you are living through it, but the perspective you gain later can transform the way you see everything that happened along the way. There are moments when people believe their mistakes have defined their future. They remember the decisions they regret and assume that those moments have permanently closed certain doors. But human life is not defined by a single chapter. Every day offers another opportunity to learn, grow, and move forward with new understanding. Even the people who achieve great things often carry stories of failure and disappointment in their past. Those experiences did not end their journey. Instead, they became lessons that guided them toward better choices in the future. Think about a potter shaping clay on a spinning wheel. The clay begins as a simple lump without form or direction. As the wheel spins, the potter carefully presses and shapes the clay with steady hands. Sometimes the clay collapses and must be reshaped again. But through patience and persistence, the potter gradually forms a beautiful piece of pottery. In many ways, life shapes people in the same manner. The experiences you face today are part of the process that forms the person you are becoming. Even when things feel messy or uncertain, the process is still moving forward. The important thing is to keep believing that your story is not finished yet. There are chapters ahead that you cannot see right now. There are opportunities that have not yet appeared. There are moments of joy that are still waiting to enter your life. Sometimes the greatest transformations happen quietly during seasons when nothing seems to be changing. Beneath the surface of your daily routine, new ideas may be forming in your mind. New strengths may be developing in your character. New perspectives may be guiding your future decisions. And one day you may look back at this exact season and realize that it was not a time of failure or delay. It was a time of preparation for something greater than you imagined. Life rarely moves in a straight line. There are twists, turns, and unexpected detours along the way. But those detours sometimes lead to destinations far better than the ones we originally planned. When people reflect on their lives years later, they often recognize patterns that were invisible in the moment. Events that once seemed random suddenly appear connected in meaningful ways. The challenge that forced you to develop resilience may later help you guide someone else through their own difficult season. The patience you learned during long periods of waiting may become the reason you handle future responsibilities with wisdom and calmness. Every experience adds something valuable to the person you are becoming. So if you feel uncertain about your path right now, remember that uncertainty does not mean your life lacks direction. Sometimes it simply means that the next chapter has not yet been revealed. Continue moving forward even when you cannot see the entire road ahead. Continue believing that your efforts matter even when results appear slowly. And continue reminding yourself that every day you grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the future that is unfolding before you. As life continues moving forward, there are moments when people begin to question their own strength. You may look at the challenges around you and wonder if you truly have what it takes to keep going. Sometimes the weight of responsibilities feels heavy and the future looks uncertain. In those moments, it becomes easy to believe that you are walking this path alone. But many of the strongest people in history once stood in the same place where you are standing right now. They also faced moments of doubt. They also asked questions about the meaning of their struggles. Yet what separated them from the rest was not the absence of fear, but the decision to keep moving forward despite that fear. Imagine standing beside a river that looks impossible to cross. The water moves quickly and the distance to the other side seems far beyond your ability. At first the situation appears hopeless. But then you notice something important. A series of small stones forms a path across the river. Each stone alone may seem insignificant, but together they create a way to reach the other side. Life often works the same way. The big goals and dreams you hope to achieve may appear overwhelming at first. But when you break the journey into small steps, those steps slowly create a path forward. One decision leads to another and another until eventually you realize that you have traveled much farther than you once believed possible. There are also moments when people feel trapped by the mistakes they made in the past. They replay old memories in their mind and wish they could return to those moments and choose differently. But the truth about life is that every person carries chapters they wish they could rewrite. Those chapters do not define the rest of the story unless you allow them to. The past can teach valuable lessons, but it should not become a prison that prevents you from moving toward the future. Think about how the sun rises every morning regardless of what happened the day before. A new sunrise brings a new opportunity to begin again. In the same way, every day offers a chance to learn from yesterday and make better choices today. Growth does not happen overnight. It happens gradually through consistent effort and patience. Just like a craftsman building something beautiful piece by piece, your character is shaped through the choices you make each day. Some days the progress will feel small, but those small steps accumulate over time and create meaningful change. When people look back years later, they rarely remember the exact moment when everything suddenly improved. Instead, they realize that improvement happened slowly through persistence and determination. So if you ever feel discouraged, remember that progress is still progress even when it moves at a slow pace. As you continue walking through life, you may begin to notice that your perspective starts to change. Situations that once seemed overwhelming slowly become easier to understand. Experiences that once felt painful begin to reveal the lessons hidden within them. Over time, you realize that every challenge you faced added something valuable to your journey. Imagine reading a long book where each chapter tells a different part of the story. Some chapters are exciting and joyful, while others are filled with conflict and difficulty. If you only read one difficult chapter, you might assume the entire story is tragic. But when you read the entire book, you discover that every chapter played a role in creating a powerful ending. Your life works in the same way. The chapter you are living right now is only one part of a much larger story. Even if this chapter feels uncertain or challenging, it does not determine the final outcome. The future still contains many pages waiting to be written. One of the most powerful realizations a person can have is understanding that growth never truly stops. No matter how much experience you gain, there will always be new lessons to learn and new opportunities to explore. Life constantly invites people to evolve into wiser, stronger versions of themselves. And the journey toward that growth is what gives life meaning and purpose. So whenever you feel like your progress is too slow or your path is unclear, remember that every step forward matters. Every effort you make to improve your life adds another piece to the story you are building. Even the moments when you feel lost may eventually guide you toward discoveries you never expected. Continue believing that your journey has value and that the challenges you face today are shaping the strength you will rely on tomorrow. The road ahead may not always be easy, but it holds possibilities that are greater than you can currently imagine.